It's a very crystal clear, and I thoroughly enjoy reading it. I mean, I didn't see it that way, but
You're from 80, that is why, for instance, remember you told me when how many thousand in March when they were trying to put the HIV thing on it. You understand? You understand? You hear about 80. Raymond, I watch my TV and it pisses me off, sorry, to see people talk about voodoo economics. You know, that is disrespecting 80 right there. You understand, Raymond? That's all they do on TV, these people. And so even when people see 80, Raymond, many for black people, when that earthquake happened, you know what that friend said? Oh, those Asians, they are so into voodoo.
That's what they said. That's what they said.
I have to jump some of them.
Who said that?
Oh, that was all on the news. That was propaganda big time. They said that all over.
I don't heard they say about voodoo is what, witchcraft or something like
that? Yeah, that's how they see my brother.
It's a religion like any other religion.
That's right.
It's ancestral worship. That's all.
That's what we say. That's why we say we have to be very careful. How we relate to each other, and we can be with respect to the common folks. They're not as highly sophisticated as us to understand these nuances.
okay.
But
So it's very important when you put out information on how it's interpreted.
Yeah.
Because you have other people filtering it for you.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting though? Voodoo and all that? I have a person that I know. He said all this thing with Africa, like when you have these symbols and you do these rituals, it's all devil worship and you're supposed to just worship one God, one creator. And when you have all these different symbols, he's saying it's devil worshiping and
That's not true.
It's not.
Yeah.
But that's
No, but that's what some people believe in, some black
Brother
people
Levi,
believe in.
for example, let's look at the Catholic religion.
Well, we know that's fake, that's phony and all that.
Oh, okay.
No, but go ahead.
No, but okay, let's go any other Christian denomination. They have a whole bunch of saints, right?
Yes, that's right.
That's like their gods.
That's right.
There's a big God, there's a lesser God.
That's right.
That's right.
That's all.
Everybody has a patron saint.
That's right.
I don't see any difference, yeah, so, but, so basically, Minister
Tactics. We
Menelik
talk about tactics.
is he like a, what do you call a rogue element?
I don't want to.
No, but, okay, no, I mean.
He's the Secretary General.
Well, I figured he has authority.
He's the Secretary General, and Dr. Jeffries is the President, Nana Faraika, an elder from the Maroon Connection and Rastafari, and an elder in the struggle a long time, like our brother Shem here. She's the Vice President, along with other posts, just like we have other posts. I'm the chair for New York. I'm also on the Secretariat, and so on and so on and so forth. So, and we have chapters in different parishes and different countries and so on. We just want, tactics have to be used in struggle. Tactics is as important as the objective. The thing is to galvanize our people because we know what other people have done to their mind. Great, as Bantu Biko Steve would say, the greatest weapon in the hands of the oppressor is the people's mind.
That's right.
So we're very careful about, and we are trying, and we are pleased, that's what I'm speaking, in bringing our, like when we keep meetings here, like UNA, sometimes you have the brothers and stuff, and you're from Liberia and so on. You're pleased to see another brother, Elder came when he was from Ghana, right, the coconut brother. You're pleased when this thing's happening. Because I remember one evening, Brother Mike was there, and Brother Becker really wanted to wrap up. I remember I was sitting where he wanted to wrap up. He really wanted to wrap up, like, let's wrap up this thing. And I said, wait a minute, Becker. It's that every day we come together like this, just to enjoy each other's company,
True.
What we are building is what? Trust among each other,
True.
right? Trust.
True.
I mean, you know about that for a time. People ever think about this? The Board of Trustees. You're trusting each other, right? A trust fund. I mean, I can trust with my money. That's the thing about UNIA. I mean, other black people are willing to give their money to the organization. They trust Mr. Garvey and the leadership, right? And that is why this criminal element tried to demean Garvey speaking, and to say, see, you can't trust them with your money. You understand? That was the whole thing. You can't trust these people with the money. But where else have we ever seen that done? It's not that we can duplicate it. And what we are trying to do is duplicate it. That once again we can come forward with our funds and our trust and pool together and get going.
That's right.
It's interesting. It's interesting about you can't trust people with your money. But they have a lot of these white organizations. Like, look at Wall Street. A lot of these, if you invest in some of these companies, they launder money. Sometimes it goes to some fund that you don't know of.
Like phone it.
Sometimes it's some dumb fund company or some.
Phone it.
You know,
Of course.
a lot of these companies, a lot of these corporations, and they're white organizations, white companies, you know?
But yet still people trust
But
them.
then-
Yeah, I get your point, yeah. For all that they've done, you would think people would say, whoa, we should disassociate. No, if anything, it encourages people to invest more with them. It's like, they're really bad, oh good, let me join them.
I mean,
Look at the housing crisis they had in the early 80s. Then they had a market, then they had, what else?
on different crashes.
Yeah, they had the stock
different
market
crashes.
insurance fraud.
Yeah.
These are all white companies.
I just give one thing and I just leave it at that.
You know?
For instance, I think white people use a strategy, white people, as a marketing tool. Our products are not selling too well, so we don't want black people to buy it. Don't wear my shoes. Oh yeah, I must wear shoes. I will show you. I'll buy 10,000 pairs of the shoes.
I agree.
Tommy Hilfiger.
I agree. I agree.
Timberland, and the different drinks. These drinks that like about $5,000 bottle. I don't want niggas drink. Oh yeah, I'll take that in my bath. Right? Even Oprah, when Oprah Winfrey was so powerful, and she went to Paris, and they shut that door on her, right? Going, shut that door on her. And they went back and said, oh, you went to Oprah Winfrey? Oh, we're so sorry, we didn't know it was Oprah. Come, Oprah. Oprah said, I'll show them. I'll buy 5,000 bags of Louis Vuitton bags. Can you imagine if she had sent a message to these car kids and what she could have done with that store, wreck it? Instead, she purchased 5,000 of those bags to distribute. You understand? She could have started Oprah Winfrey factory, right? But Oprah Winfrey bag. Our shoes are women's accessories. No, you understand? So these are the type of mentality. But as I said, the more they feel, the more black people go in and so I need to trust. Charles, what is
Yeah, just recently, I think it was in February, Menelik wrote an article for Amsterdam News on
Yeah, but I grow.
Zimbabwe and Robert Mugabe.
Yeah.
You have anything, how you want us to, as far as UNIA memberships, I think December 12th movement was trying to do a march. Has there been some networking, or what message do you have for us as far as what we should do?
All right, thank you, brother. There are different components. One is 100% endorses the presidency of Robert Mugabe.
Okay.
That's right.
Or as now the president of the AU. He's now the AU. The African Union has around 55 countries, 54 are members. Mr. Morocco decided that they are French and they want to join the EU, so they are not members. And the EU have to remind them that, hey, geographically, you're in Africa.
Right.
So that's their stand. Anyhow, these 54 countries, so they rotate the presidency. So now it's President Robert Mugabe's turn. So, of course, we sent 3 delegates here, and one was the other from Jamaica. He was the sabbatical leave, Dr. Ashley Taylor from Jamaica. Now, for Riker's son, the vice president, son, Professor University. We also sent Dr. Chitunia, she's from Zimbabwe.
Right,
Right.
that's right.
Che, you know,
From Harlem.
From Harlem here. And Brother David from Haiti. So we had 4, and they did excellent. They represented our bishop excellent, you know. And they were accredited and went in as accredited members. So we support the system. And of course we support the One Africa. On the part of sanctions now, that's what D12 want the sanctions to be lifted. You know, sanctions are crippling, whether it be applied on Cuba or wherever. Now it's the US trying to do it to Venezuela, right? So we said it should be lifted totally. They have partially lifted it.
But how long has it been?
The
sanctions for a long time.
Look, from Bush, from the days of Bush.
A long time.
From the days of Bush.
Right.
The Zimbabwe so-called democracy act. The hypocrisy of this thing, like telling people selectively who they want, quote unquote, democracy. The hypocrisy. Well, of course, Saudi Arabia and the rest of them, they are so democratic over there. You know? The hypocrisy, right? So they define who they call rogue states. Right? And so they have been using that to strangle Zimbabwe. Of course, if Zimbabwe was one, as we know, those who remember, anti-apartheid here, was not the frontline state, number 1 frontline state, and they have borne the blunt of these sanctions and attacks. And so it's a way to destabilize. You know? Other than them sending in the Marine, the Marine to overthrow you, they use sanctions because they hope your people will rise up and overthrow you. Because when people can't go, they will overthrow the government. But the people have stood in solidarity. And to the credit of the states around them, like South Africa, Namibia, and so on. And what do UNIA and other forces that have been able to stabilize themselves. That's basic. So the campaign now is for lifting those sanctions, calling the Obama administration to lift the sanctions. It served no purpose, you know. Just quickly, December 12th, I went and that was February 21st. They had a.
That's right. Our Black History Month.
Yeah, it was 3
went to
days.
D- that's right, you went to D12.
One to divide it, the one come to UNIA, some to here to pt.4. So I went over there. That to honor Malcolm X. So D12 is pushing for plebiscite. That's a referendum. What do Black people want in the United States? You know, you want to stay with these people here, part of them. You want to separate, you want your own state, you want to return to Africa. So there's a D12 as a major campaign right now, what Black people want to plebiscite, pushing for that.
Do you have information on that, written information?
Word.
Not much, I just went to it. I was trying to invite Omawale Clay, brother Omawale Clay, since I'm to come to the Wadu monthly forum, it's the 28th of this month. I hope one of them will accept to come and tell us exactly what they want from us, to explain more, this plebiscite. But it is to give us the opportunity to say what exactly do we want as an African people. You're suffering police brutality, lynching, every day of our lives, racial profile that we have to go to other people. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Before we depart, I mean, I read Minister Menelik's email religiously, but his arguments that the ruling elite of Nigeria, the ruling elite of South Africa are the two most responsible for derailing the One Africa, the African Union government. Can you expand on that for me, please?
Probably Mr. Menelik might be the best one to
But his points are pretty clear.
like I said, these people who have controlled us ever since we encountered them, these other folks, you know, non-melanin people, whatever you want to call them, since we have been counting for over 1,000 years, they are very deceptive in dividing our people. Right? So at one point, they said South Africa was the most powerful economy on the continent. Right? Suddenly, out of the blue, they then say it's Nigeria. They then reassess, reevaluate as to what you're in that sort of field, what type of scientific measure do you use.
Right.
But suddenly now, Nigeria economy is booming. And suddenly now, you know, there's nothing mysterious about this thing. Suddenly Boko Haram, you know, you see, one particular area, all of a sudden now, Boko Haram now start to do things. So that brings to that whole type of thing. These Boko Haram, where are they getting their arms from, you know?
CIA.
Supply them, of course, right?
CIA.
But, right, who's creating these people? And then when things like these happen, now you said, oh, you need the West to come in and help you. And so an elite in this country said, oh, we need the West to come in. Like there was one preacher in Nigeria, a Christian preacher, said, well, these Muslims are attacking us. We need the United States to come in and help us Christians. You see, that's a very dangerous thing, yeah? To divide people between Christians and Muslims. That's Black people you're talking about. And when they have their wars, as we know, they practice wars in Africa. That's where they play now. Yeah? Some guy in Amsterdam might draw some cartoon, and they want to protest in Amsterdam. But then all of a sudden in Nigeria, you have about 50,000 people dead. What that does have to do with some guy with some cartoon in Europe, but they play it out on our side. Right? So this is the ruling class. Again, we are very displeased that when Muammar Gaddafi was in there, just that Nigeria played an underhand. This is true. I played an underhand.
It's just coincidental that Gaddafi was the one pushing, the biggest proponent of the African Union government,
right.
And he's no longer there.
Right.
I mean, there's no coincidence at all.
Right, because
I'm being facetious.
No.
Yeah.
I'm trying to put something together because I'm bad with that thing to put from Gabi to Gaddafi, you know, from Gabi to Gaddafi. They push for, you know, one Africa, you know, and so of course, Nigeria played an hand in it, yeah? And
You know, brother, I felt. Remember, I think last month we were discussing Haiti and Martinique.
Yeah.
And I told you every time I see him,
I
mean, if words could describe
how you feel.
You know, I feel almost as bad, almost like that when I see Good Luck Jonathan.
Yeah.
He looks like an outright Tom. I mean, it's hard to look at him with that stupid hat on. He looks like a fool. I'm saying, but you're president of a country. There's no one to tell you how to conduct yourself. Is it that bad out there?
What country is this?
Nigeria.
Oh, Nigeria.
Oh, every time you see this guy, fool. Every time he's been interviewed about Boko Haram, it sounds like a complete dope. It's hard to even look at him, seriously. I mean, only person I feel even worse about is when Martelly is on the phone, on the television. This is a guy, it's hard to even look at. Everything about him is just so wrong.
The other thing that Nigeria and Africa has roughly about 1 billion people, roughly, and Nigeria has like 1 in 4.
Right.
The population. Population.
It's a huge place. It's the biggest place on the continent. And they've got oil. They've got nothing to show for it.
Oil and rubber. They got a lot of rubber.
They have everything.
I was told they
Look, the whole of Africa has like everything.
No, especially Nigeria.
Okay, you made a point they have everything. I was having a
The
discussion.
Congo, for instance, is said to have the most.
Oh, gosh.
Okay.
The planes can't even fly in Congo. The thing pull them down.
All right, the point I was going to make was I had a discussion with someone, this was years ago.